Alright, so we're back on the 2003 Boxster today. It's been a week. I had mailed off the immobilizer and the key that I had. This was cut at the auction, worked the door and the ignition, but it wouldn't start the car. The chip wouldn't program for whatever reason. And nobody local could do this, so I actually had to mail this off. I had to make me a second key, and they programmed both keys. So next thing I'm going to do is I've got my batteries charged. I'm going to pull the cover off here real quick. We're going to go ahead and plug this in and see if the car starts today. Because we really don't know if this car will start or not. Now I know it turns over, but that's it. So back in a second. Once I get the cover off, we'll go ahead and start installing that. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is go ahead and hook up our two connectors, the black one and the blue one. One thing that I did notice is the little screw that goes in this hole here, I guess it goes in here, was broke. I pushed it out because there was not enough to thread in. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get that to mount. I might get a bigger nut or something and put in there. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, but to see about getting it started shouldn't be that big a deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. Can I do this? Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Of course I don't have okay, I'll be right back. Let me plug this in. All right, so that just took a second. So the little black one has a little offset. You have to make sure that's right. And when you put the blue one in, when you push it all the way down, you just pull this white clip back. And then don't forget to plug in your antenna wire that's so your remote works. Now I don't have a remote, I only have regular keys. And then the other thing is this needs to go into the car like this. And it gets locked into that little slot right there, and then something over here. So I'll have to come up with something for that to keep that down. So next thing we're going to do is install the battery, and then we'll see if it starts. Back in a second. All right, so the battery's connected, dash lights came on, keys in the ignition. I was told the dash lights stay on for 5 minutes. Now I'm hoping that this is normal. Like I said, I don't know much about this car or Porsches in general, so hopefully. So the next thing we're going to do is turn the key. It's clicking and making noises. It says it has fuel. Okay. Well, let's see if it turns over. Okay, it turns over. Let's... it runs. I'm gonna run it for a second here. Kind of has a funky little odor, but it seems to run pretty smooth so far. Everything's turning, nothing's making any weird noises. It says it has almost half a tank of gas, so let's see what happens here. Turned off the camera for a second while I stood up, but the car seems to be running okay. I'm gonna let it run for a couple of minutes. I don't have any smoke that I can tell, so, but the car has been sitting. I don't know how long it has sat. The last registration I could find on the car
was 2017. So right now I'm just going to let it run for a few minutes and see what we got. But I do have a check engine light blinking. Probably the airbag light because the seat's out. It says the hood and the trunk are open, parking, so that's all working. So hopefully the check engine light will clear once, because the battery's been dead for a while. So I think what I want to do is, yeah, we'll just let it run for a minute and see what happens. There is a bit of a tap, but I don't know if that's just the way Boxsters sound, because outside it sounds fine. It's only while I got my head inside the car can I hear it. It does, the little oil indicator on the dash said the oil was full, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna cut this real quick while I reposition and come right back. I'm not turning the car off yet. Okay, so the car's been running for a couple of minutes. I still don't see the engine temperature coming up yet, but the check engine light stopped blinking, so that's a good thing. I'd like to see that gauge start moving. So it does sort of seem to have a little bit of a miss. But that could be any number of things. Sitting, oil buildup. So I was gonna do a tune-up on it once I knew that it was running, so that's fine. Alright, so it's been running for a few minutes. We are up to 180. Our check engine light came back on. We've got this flashing red light up here on the temp. I'm not sure what that's about, so I'm gonna do some research. But all the noises have seemed to disappear now that it's been running for a few minutes and has stopped smoking whatever oil was sitting on parts. So problem is my phone's already overheating because it's approaching 100, and inside this car it is sweltering. So I'm gonna probably let this run for about another 2 or 3 minutes. Now that we've reached 180, that's got to be fairly close to operating temperature. I want to put my code reader on here and see if I can come up with anything for the check engine light and this flashing light. But yeah, so far it sounds all right. All right, I will be back in a bit. It'll probably be cooled off before I come back. Conveniently, while I was sitting here waiting for the car to do its thing, my Amazon delivery came in, so I have my new tool here to check the engine codes. I just ran this thing through the updates. So first thing we're gonna do is nope, that's not what we wanted. Nope. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out what we need to do to get this thing set up. This is not what I wanted. Exit, yes, you stupid thing. We want P. Smart VIN, maybe?
So I'm new to this thing, and so I'm just learning as I punch buttons. I don't know if it needs the key in. Hey, what do you know? It came up correct. All right. Let's run diagnostics. Let's do quick scan just to see what we got. Let's see. Oh, it's got a fault. I don't know what DME control is. Oh, got 2 faults. So the transmission is acting up. ABS is working. Let's see what all we get. Oh, we got another fault. The air conditioner's not working. Which I kind of knew that because I turned it on and it wasn't working. Airbag says it's not working, but that's probably because I have the seats out, and since that's not all connected. So we'll just see what we come up with. This car may, hopefully, so alarm control, airbag, instrument cluster fault. I don't know what that means. All right, well, this thing is doing its thing. We're at 81%. Up to 90. We could have a bunch of faults just because, okay, so it's at 100% because the battery's been out of it. This isn't even the right battery, so I don't know if this battery has to be registered to clear some of this. But I think that like the alarm and the airbag, I think those things, once I put the seats back in, I think that should probably solve some of those. I don't know what the instrument cluster fault is. Could be nothing, could be something. All right, so I'm gonna play with that. Like I said, right now I got all that going. All right, so I'm gonna go in the house and look at these codes and wait until it cools off. All right, so it's been a couple hours. The heat's come down a little bit. I just started the car back up. You can see the temperature's starting to creep up there a little bit, just off of 100. I reset the codes that I got from earlier and just rescanned the car, and a lot of the codes cleared themselves up. Now we do have a fault code here on this DME, and that is, whoops, I touched those damn things, and that is a misfire on spark plug 1. Right there, spark plug 1. And of course the AC doesn't seem to be working, and the airbags, of course, are not going to be working because the seats are out and they're not connected, but all the other faults cleared up, so that's pretty cool. So overall the car seems to be running pretty good, even with a little bit of a miss. It's not very, now that I've run it a few times, the miss seems to actually be clearing up, so it could have just been from sitting. But I do have new spark plugs and boots coming for tomorrow. What else I got coming? Oil filter, oil. So yeah, I'll do a quick tune-up. We'll see how it runs. I need to get a couple of front tires, so I'll probably pull the front wheels off and go down to a tire shop and get some tires. That way I can get it off the trailer, and then see how it runs up and down the street, make sure the transmission works, and then I'll order a service kit, do a belt, water pump, thermostat, pulleys, all that jazz. I may even see about servicing the AC just to see if I can get it to work. So yeah, other than that, so I guess this is a plus. We got a running Porsche Boxster. Thanks for watching.